Hey everybody, so Apple just had their big September event where they revealed the new iPhone 14, the new AirPods Pro 2, the new Apple Watch Series 8, and most importantly, at least to us at Connect the Watch, where we cover connected fitness, the brand new Apple Watch Ultra, which we had previously thought was going to be named the Apple Watch Pro. So in this video, I'm going to discuss what was revealed about the Apple Watch Ultra and if it would make sense or not, or if it would be worth it to get that Apple Watch Ultra over the Apple Watch 8, or maybe even some other alternative endurance watch instead. This is Colin with Connect the Watch, where we cover the latest in connected fitness. So if you like content like this and want to make sure you stay up to date with the latest information, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so first, let's discuss what is different about the Apple Watch Ultra when compared to the new Apple Watch 8. So first, we have a new aerospace grade titanium case, which should help make the Apple Watch Ultra a lot tougher and a lot more resistant to scratches and nicks and other types of damage. There's also a new sapphire front crystal screen to also help that screen from getting scratched, as these watches are made to be used in endurance and outdoor activities, which a lot of times you might be going through bushes or getting hit by branches. So it's important that this watch be able to sustain some sort of damage without getting completely wrecked like many of the previous Apple Watches do. There is a much larger and brighter screen here, with the case being 49 millimeters, so around 10% larger than the typical Apple Watch, and the brightness levels can go up to 2000 nits, which should make it easier when you're outdoors and there's sun directly on the watch to still be able to read it fairly clearly. Now, one of the biggest and most important upgrades that I'm most excited about is the improved battery life. So the battery life has been pretty much doubled. So instead of it lasting around 18 hours, it'll now last around 36 hours and even last 60 hours when using the battery optimization setting, which will come later this year. Also new to the Apple Watch Ultra is the action button, which is there as a quick, easy to hit button that you can press while you're working out to take you to a customizable screen depending on the workout type you are doing. In addition to the new action button is a larger, easier to use scroll wheel. Now, another one of the big changes here is that the Apple Watch Ultra has the ability to use dual frequency GPS, which is something that only really the top end endurance type watches are capable of. And that way the GPS can be a lot more accurate when you're running underneath trees or near buildings or rock climbing up next to a cliff. The dual frequency GPS should help that a lot and is going to probably be a big selling point for this watch. In addition to that dual frequency GPS is a new compass app, which includes new compass waypoints that can be added with that action button so that you can always know where you are headed relative to other landmarks like your base camp or the direction you're coming from, or even of course the direction that you want to go. And included with that is a new backtrack feature, which allows the watch to use all of the data of where you've been, so that if you ever get lost or want to be able to easily find your way back on a trail, you can use that backtrack option to be able to follow and find exactly where you came from. Now, in addition to all of that, because this is intended for outdoor use, there has been a second speaker introduced here for an increased amount of volume, which can be definitely helpful, especially on those windy days, and also helps to use its new 86 decibel siren, which if you need help can direct others to your location from up to 600 feet away. In addition to a second speaker, there are now 3 microphones on the watch to allow for improved volume clarity for making calls, for example, in windy conditions. In terms of use in the water, the new Apple Watch Ultra is now WR100 rated, which means it can go down up to 130 feet of depth, which is 2 times the water resistance of any other Apple Watch we've seen so far. And when going down underwater, it'll automatically launch an app, including one developed just for divers, to show you your depth and various other dive conditions. Now, unlike most Apple Watches where you can choose to either buy the GPS only watch or the GPS plus cellular, cellular is built into every single Apple Watch Ultra, so you don't really have any choice but to get that. And there are 3 bands developed just for it. One is an alpine band, which is intended more for climbing use. The other is an ocean band, which is intended obviously for more swimming and diving use. And the third is a trail loop designed more for running and hiking. And the price for all of this is $799, which although is a lot more than the Apple Watch, which costs $399 for the GPS and $499 for the cellular version, it's actually a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be and is very competitively priced with alternative endurance focused watches. Now, obviously, if you wouldn't benefit from having that longer battery life or really utilizing that GPS functions with the Apple Watch Ultra, then you should probably definitely go still with the regular Apple Watch. But if you want those features, this is a very good choice. In fact, this may be the best overall sports watch for the average person that I've ever seen. And I don't say that lightly because in the past, I have not liked any Apple Watch for its sports features. It's always been very weak compared to the competition. But the features here, from that dual frequency GPS to the improved volume to having that cellular function to the backwards tracking, the improved water resistance, and not to mention all of the upgrades that are coming with the OS 9 update, like the heart rate zone tracking, the workout building, the ground contact time measurements, and the built-in power meter. I mean, this watch could very easily have been $1,000 or more. And alongside all of the other benefits of just having a watch, which means you have that additional customization and integration that comes along with that, I mean, this thing is going to be a beast. The only drawback here is really the lack of HRV tracking, which for me is a critical reason why I'll still be wearing something like the Whoop in addition to the Apple Watch Ultra. But also the battery life here, while very much improved, is still not very competitive with other endurance watches, which usually have now like between 30 and 60 days of battery. And there also doesn't seem to be, at least at first glance, very much customization to the workout display of various modes and some of the super smart running specific functions that are featured on watches like Garmin or Coros. But I know for sure I will be getting this, and I think Apple just really nailed it out of the park with this release. And if you want to see my review on it and how it compares to other fitness watches, well, make sure to stay tuned to Connect the Watts. This is Colin. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see you next time.